So today we're going to jump into Psalm 74 and we're going to really see what we do with our emotions when we're facing a lot of disappointment and challenges in our life. Because remember, when we can learn how to take our emotions and bring it to God in a way that we can really help express ourselves to Him, it'll grow our relationship with God, help our mental health, and also at the same time, really just develop our own theology as well. Because if we don't understand what's going around us, then it's going to cause us to be upset and see God in a light that isn't correct. So it's really important for us to focus on what really is going on around us so that we can bring our true hearts to God and just find that healing and goodness from Him. So here's what it is, Psalm 74, verse 1. O God, why have you rejected us so long? Why is your anger so intense against the sheep of your own pasture? Remember that we are the people you chose long ago, the tribe you redeemed as your own special possession. And remember Jerusalem, your home here on earth. Walk through the awful ruins of the city. See how the enemy has destroyed your sanctuary. There your enemies shouted their victorious battle cries. They set up their battle standards. They swung their axes like woodcutters in the forest. With axes and picks they smashed the carved paneling. They burned your sanctuary to the ground. They defiled the place that bears your name. Then they thought, let's destroy everything. So they burned down all the places where God was worshipped. And we'll pause here. A lot of times in our lives, this can feel just like the situation that we're in. When everything that we knew around us comes burning down to the ground, where we feel like we have been rejected, like God has left us. For some of us, this could be when a family member gets terribly ill. For others, it could be when you lose your job or you fail out of university or something major like that, where the things that you put your trust in, the things that you put your hope into come crashing down by the enemy around us. And we know the enemy is that of the devil and the forces of darkness, and they love to make you discouraged. Their plan of attack is to discourage you because when you're discouraged, you're weak. You don't seek after God. You don't grow your relationship with God because you are too scared to move forward into a new future with God. So the forces of darkness love to just keep you discouraged and keep you down. If you're not seeking after God's heart, you will not be able to get stronger and grow your faith, which means you won't be able to do great things for the kingdom. So we have to continue to push through that challenge, even though it looks like everything is burned down around us. Let's see in verse 9 as the psalmist continues. We no longer see your miraculous signs. All the prophets are gone, and no one can tell us when it will end. How long, O God, will you allow your enemies to insult you? Will you let them dishonor your name forever? Why do you hold back your strong right hand? Unleash your powerful fist and destroy them. You, O God, are my king from ages past, bringing salvation to the earth. You split the sea by your strength and smashed the heads of the sea monsters. You crushed the heads of Leviathan and let the desert animals eat him. You caused the springs and streams to gush forth, and you dried up rivers that never run dry. Both day and night belong to you. You made the starlight and the sun. You set the boundaries of the earth, and you made both summer and winter. We'll just pause here. I just love that part of the psalm because the psalmist does make the point. God, you are holy and you are good. Why do you let evil and why do you let destruction run rampant among us? And this is a great encouragement and hope for you and for me, because no matter how much our situation is going poorly or going wrongly, it won't be like that forever. Yes, there may be some major things we have to live with because of some consequences or even some actions of evil or sin around us. But that does not mean that God has abandoned you And it doesn't mean that your feeling is going to be like this forever. Even if sickness or death takes somebody that you love, there's going to be a time when joy and happiness begin once again to flow through your heart. And God can use those tragedies to actually do something amazing in this life we live. But we have to see that God is strong and that God will bring righteousness and justice. It says in verse 14 that you crush the heads of Leviathan and let the desert animals eat him. This Leviathan is this chaos dragon that brings death and disorder. And God will smash that disorder around us. He will bring righteousness and will set straight what has been crooked. We just have to trust God and bring our prayer to Him and wait on Him to do this miraculous sign. Let's go here. We're on verse 18. See how these enemies insult you, Lord. A foolish nation has dishonored your name. Don't let these wild beasts destroy your turtle doves. Don't forget your suffering people forever. Remember your covenant promises, for the land is full of darkness and violence. Don't let the downtrodden be humiliated again. Instead, let the poor and needy praise your name. Arise, O God, and defend your cause. Remember how those fools insult you all day long. Don't overlook what your enemies have said or their growing uproar. And that's the end of the psalm. Our God is the God of covenant promises. And it says in verse 20, remember your covenant promises. God is not forgetting the promise that He's given to you. He's not going to abandon you or let you down. Now, God's solution may not be the solution that we have in our minds. And even though we may be facing some challenges that we don't understand, it doesn't mean that He's gone. What it means is God is handling it His way because we don't understand the complexity of the world around us. So, even though it's hard, even though it doesn't make sense, continue just to bring our heart of trust and faith to God. And let's see how He can bring His covenant promise into your life.